Alright, we got this right here. 3 creepy real stories with photos slash video footage by my boy Mr. Nightmare, man. This guy's a goat right here. Hold on. Let's see what we got.
Mark was a college student living in Indiana.
Okay.
His house was quiet and sat next to some woods. During
Alright.
the day, everything felt normal, but at night, the woods made the place feel strange. Behind his house, under the patio, there was a hot tub.
Ooh, a little
That's
hot
where
tub
everything
action. Hold
happened.
on.
It was Saturday night, March 29th, around 12:30 a.m. Spring break was ending and school was starting again soon.
Okay.
Mark had his 3 close friends over, Kyle, Keenan, and Derek.
Keenan.
They were spending one last night hanging out.
That's
They were in
fire.
the garage playing
Hold
pool,
on.
blasting music, and drinking. Everyone was laughing and
Pool
having
action.
fun. It felt like a good night. After a while, Kyle said they should go in the hot tub.
I thought.
It was cold
hot
outside,
tub?
so the warm water sounded even better. Everyone agreed.
Oh, the
They
hot
got
tub
changed
fire,
into swim
bro.
trunks, grabbed
Come
their
on.
drinks, and went into the hot tub. The warm water felt good as they talked, made jokes, and didn't pay attention to
Ooh,
the
that
time.
water look good.
Then they heard something. It was the sound of sticks breaking, like
Oh.
footsteps coming from the woods. It didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like a person.
How you gonna know if it sounds like an animal or a person, bro? Like, how are you gonna know that, though?
They all went quiet and looked around.
Oh. Like, what you do in this situation, bro?
Keenan tried to calm everyone down and said it was probably nothing. The others laughed, but it was more to stop feeling
Actual
nervous.
photo.
They turned the music up louder and tried to keep talking. About 10 minutes later, a man walked out of the woods. He stepped into the light from the patio. He was wearing a long black coat, white sweatpants, and a gaming headset.
A gaming headset. A gaming headset. Please show me a picture of this gaming headset.
His
Hold
eyes
on.
were wide, and his face didn't show any feeling. Everyone jumped. They yelled at him and asked who he was and what he was doing.
Oh, I'm losing my
The man
mind.
raised his hands and said his name was Seth. He said he was 33 years
Seth, I'm gonna have to ask you to get off my property right now. Before I go out there. Before I go inside and get that blicky, bro. Cause ain't no
old,
way.
and he heard them laughing and wanted to join. The guys just looked at each other, confused. Mark told him to leave, but he didn't listen. Instead, Seth took off his coat, then his shoes, and then his pants.
Oh, he in straight underwear? Oh, he's in straight underwear. Maybe this guy's a little zesty? Like, maybe he's a... Just maybe. Hold on.
He was now in only his underwear. Then he got into the hot tub. No one
Ain't no way he just hopped in the hot tub with this dude, bro. Or with these guys.
knew what to say. Mark pulled out his phone and started recording, not for fun, but because the whole thing felt unreal. This was the footage he captured.
Oh, and they drunk too, bro. So they just having a blast at this point. Oh, nah. Yo, should we... Like, would you guys let him vibe out, though? Hold on.
They started asking Seth questions, like where he came from and if he knew anyone there. He just kept saying he heard them laughing and wanted to hang out.
This means he was stalking them in the woods.
Then he said something really disturbing.
Oh, no,
He
don't
said
hit
he
me
had
with it.
molested a child.
This is when I'm really grabbing the blicky. This is what I'm saying to my boy Seth right here. Hey, hold on. Let me go inside. I gotta go use the restroom. Come outside. Bow, bow, bow. Look, self-defense right there. Come on, hold on.
That changed everything, obviously. The guys jumped out of the hot tub and started yelling at him to leave. They pulled him out of the water. Seth didn't try to stop them. He just stood there, dripping wet and staring. Then he slowly walked back into the woods without saying anything.
I knew he was zesty. Hold on. Unless the child's, hold on. I don't even want to go there. I mean, I'm guessing it's a little boy, right? Hold on.
The group ran inside and locked all the doors. Some of them laughed nervously, trying to shake it off, but Mark and Kyle didn't feel okay. They felt like it wasn't over. About 15 minutes passed. Kyle said they should go back out to lock the hot tub. Mark said okay. So they
Nobody care about no hot tub. You calling, bro? I'm calling somebody at least, bro. I'm calling somebody, bro.
got flashlights and stepped outside. That's when Mark saw something next to the hot tub.
No, don't do
it. It was
it.
a phone. He picked it up and saw the screen light up. Whatever was on the lock screen made him drop the phone. He didn't say what it was, but it scared him. He said he thought Seth would come back, so they ran inside and told the others. Everyone tried to stay calm. Then they heard a tapping sound on the window.
Don't play the audio.
Mark
This is where the fun's over, okay? Look. Joke's over now.
already knew who it was. He opened the curtain, and wouldn't you know it, Seth was standing right there.
Open the curtain. You is a madman. You is a... Dude, no way. No way I'm doing that.
His face was pale, his eyes were wide open, and he had a creepy smile. He didn't say anything, he didn't move, he just stared. Mark yelled for Kyle. Kyle ran in and called the police.
You just now doing that. Hold on. You was just now doing that?
Mark grabbed a bat and went to the front door.
Oh, a
He
bat?
yelled for Seth to leave and take his phone. Seth didn't answer. Instead, he slowly walked around the side of the house. Mark followed a little bit and looked through the patio window. Seth was standing there again, staring inside. Mark told him the cops were coming and that he needed to leave.
Oh, ain't no way.
But Seth didn't move. He just slowly raised his hand and waved once. Then he turned and walked back into the woods. The police arrived a few minutes later. The guys told them everything. The officers searched the woods and found Seth standing alone, just looking toward the house. They arrested him for trespassing, and everyone thought it was over. But Mark didn't feel that way. A few days later, he saw a post on Snapchat from a girl who lived nearby. It was a video. It showed another man, not Seth, trying to break into her house late at night. That's what bothered Mark the most. It meant Seth might not be the only one out there. There could be more. They could be connected, and they might not be done.
Oh, ain't no way. Oh, this is good right now. This is good. Hold on. The Tunnel. Sam Burns. Hold on.
A few years ago, 3 high school friends named Beck, Matthew, and Tyler decided to explore a sewer tunnel in their neighborhood. It was winter and
How does this come? How does this come into conversation though? Hold on. Because ain't no way I'm talking to my friends. I'm going, let's go explore the sewer tunnel.
very cold outside. The tunnel was at the edge of their neighborhood, under a small creek next to some office buildings. These buildings were empty and dark at night. The boys had seen the tunnel before, but never went inside of it. It always looked creepy, and they joked about it, but deep down they were curious. That night,
This is gonna get you killed being curious, bro. Stay curious, you know what I mean?
they finally decided to go in. They brought sleds with them, thinking it would help if someone asked what they were doing. They knew
Sleds?
they weren't allowed to be there, but they wanted to do something exciting. Just as they pulled into the parking lot, a police car showed up. A police officer got out and asked what they were doing there. Someone had apparently seen them on the security camera. Tyler quickly said that they were just going sledding. The officer looked at them for a moment, then told them to leave. So they left, but only for a little
Leave now.
while.
Come on.
After driving around for about 30 minutes, they came back. This time, they parked farther away, behind a building where no one could see them. They walked down a hill behind the buildings. They could see their breath in the cold, crisp air. They stood in front of the tunnel, noting how big, round, and completely dark inside it was.
And you
They
still
turned
gonna
on
go
their
in.
flashlights and walked in.
Turn off your light, everybody. Okay. Dude, this is. Oh, look at the date, dude. Oh,
6/19/19.
19. Oh my god,
Dude, how did we even find this? Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Inside the tunnel, the ground was dry. It was quiet, except for the sound of water dripping deeper in.
Why?
The walls had graffiti all over them. Most of it looked old, but one thing caught their eye. A date was spray painted in large red numbers. 6/19/19. The paint looked newer than the rest, like it was done recently. That
Okay.
made them feel uneasy. Their flashlights weren't very strong.
That 6/19/19 made them feel uneasy. But not the tunnel.
And didn't shine very far. Still, they kept walking and acting tough, but deep down they were nervous. The farther they went, the colder it got. The temperature was dropping fast. Even though they were underground, they could still see their breath. The walls looked like they had ice on them. Big icicles hung down from the ceiling. Some were huge and sharp.
Keep it slow. Keep it slow.
Oh, I see a light down there, see it?
I think I saw movement. Wait. What
No.
was that?
Don't hit me with something.
Hello?
So keep going?
Did we keep going?
Move forward.
Don't.
Bro. Dude, and these icicles can like impale you, dude. Look how
Suddenly, a loud cracking sound echoing from further down the tunnel sends the group fleeing in fear. The sound resembled something heavy hitting stone. It wasn't any of them. The sound came from deeper inside the tunnel, too far to see. They tripped, slid, and bumped into each other as they rushed to get out. When they got outside, they were shaking and breathing hard. That's when Beck noticed his phone was missing. He had dropped it while they...
Hey. It's about time for a new phone anyways. Hey, hold on, Beck. We just gonna have to leave that, my boy. Ain't no
they
way.
were running.
Ain't no way.
Tyler and Matthew told him to forget about it.
Yeah,
They didn't want to
cool.
go back in, but Beck didn't listen.
My next question to that is Beck insane? Because there's no way I'm walking back in that tunnel.
He grabbed his flashlight and started walking toward the tunnel again. The others followed, but they didn't want to. The tunnel felt different this time. It felt even darker. The air felt heavy and strange, like
Okay.
something was wrong. Their flashlights didn't work as well, and the silence was even worse than before. It felt like something was watching them.
I feel like
I feel like my pocket got like a little empty
No.
one here. Like somewhere over here. Shine it down. Matthew, go over here this way.
no, dude, that's when we fucking heard the noise.
Shit, dude. Do I have to go back there?
Beck,
Go on first, bro.
Beck, you wearing Adidas track pants. This gotta be filmed in like 2018, bro. There ain't no way.
No, yeah, we're not leading the way. Yeah, somebody else lead the way, please.
No, it's your phone.
At some point off camera, Beck found his phone. Afterwards, the group continued deeper into the tunnel investigating. That's when they heard a sound.
That rock. It must have hit like here or something.
What was it? Do you remember when
We'll play that back one more time. Hold on.
Hit like here or something.
What was it? Do you remember when
A loud scream came from deeper in the tunnel. It echoed off the walls and felt like it was getting closer. They didn't wait. They turned and ran as fast as they could. This time, no one talked, no one looked back. They just ran. They got to the car, jumped in, and drove away without stopping. The car ride back was mostly silent. The three friends thought it was over when they all got home. They were ready to move on with their lives.
How could this story move? Like how is it not over?
But late that night, Beck's doorbell rang twice. This was at some off hour in the night. When Beck's dad went to answer the door, nobody was there.
That door sound too real, bro.
This, of course, begs the question, were the boys followed home that night? Or was it simply a very unfortunately timed ding-dong ditch? That remains a mystery. The night left more questions than answers for the three friends, but they all heard the noises and of course got it on video. Perhaps it was something they weren't meant to stumble upon.
It's either one or two, like, it's either one or two things, okay? Hold on. It's either, number one, it's a homeless man living in that tunnel and he don't want nobody messing with him. Number two, it's somebody just like them there, teenagers, that low-key just rage baiting them, because ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's like, what? You just gonna scream down the tunnel? What? Why is it gotta be so light? Come on, hold on. Let me get a little replay on that.
Weren't meant to stumble upon.
Y'all ready? Bam, Connor.
In
Woods
April of
encounter.
2022, a man named Connor took a construction job far from home as part of a 3-month accommodation program. The pay was decent, and he needed every dollar.
Let me get that money up.
He wasn't in the best place financially, and the bonus of working alongside his longtime friend Jim made the opportunity more appealing. They figured it would be a nice change of pace. Extra cash, time away from home, and some peace from the chaos of everyday life. The job itself wasn't bad. A few weeks in, Ryan had adjusted well to the routine, but the area they were stationed in was remote, deep in rural countryside. There were long, winding roads with barely any signs of life. It wasn't unusual to go miles without seeing a single home. Ryan had always loved the outdoors, and he saw this isolation as a chance to unplug. Most of his coworkers blew their weekends drinking, but Ryan had different plans. He wanted solitude. He wanted quiet. So when Friday rolled around, he packed his gear and prepared for a weekend of hiking and camping deep within the woods.
I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you do it alone. Like, it's another thing if you go out with like 5 or 6 dudes, bro. But if you going out alone, bro, you a real man.
A narrow trailhead just 5 minutes from his temporary accommodation became his entry point. Within 20 minutes, he was deep in the forest. The only sound was the wind and the crunch of his boots. He smoked a couple joints as he made his way further in, letting the stress just melt away. The isolation was comforting for him.
Can't do that on the back porch, my boy? Hold on.
Well, at first. Around 7 p.m., the sun began to sink behind the treetops. Shadows stretched long across the trail. Ryan knew it was time to find a place to settle. That's when he noticed something unusual. There was a scent in the air, burning firewood, and a light layer of smoke drifted between the trees. At first, it seemed normal, maybe another camper, maybe a local. But then, he caught something just barely in the corner of his vision. The faint orange glow of fire flickering through the trees. Curious and confident, Ryan left the trail and headed towards the source. He wasn't scared. He trained in combat sports during his teens and stayed in good shape.
Oh, okay.
Still, something about this felt off to him. As he moved closer, he began to see strange metallic glints. Shopping carts, dozens of them. They were tied to trees with rope hanging from the branches. Some mangled and suspended in bizarre positions, like a twisted jungle gym of rusted steel. It didn't look like a campsite. It looked like a ritual site, like something meant to be seen and feared. Ryan pulled out his phone and started snapping photos. He had to prove this to his friends someday because no one would believe it otherwise. Then, something even stranger caught his eye. Hung directly above the fire was a charred, old-fashioned duck ornament. Sitting in the duck's back was a scorched baby doll. The thing was melted, its limbs warped from heat. Ryan took a photo of that too, but the longer he stared, the more disturbed he felt. His chest began to tighten. The fire was roaring, clearly tended to recently. There were water bottles scattered around. Someone had been there, or currently was there, maybe still watching. He thought about turning around, thought about heading straight back to the trailhead. But something made him keep walking.
Why? Why are you still walking?
He tried to convince himself it was nothing, just some weird loner, maybe drunk, probably harmless. Still, he checked over his shoulder more than once. 20 minutes passed, and he'd put real distance between himself and that eerie camp. But daylight was fading fast, and he needed firewood before it got too dark. He veered off the trail again, this time to gather supplies. He wasn't worried. He had emergency wood in his pack, but not enough to last the entire night. He needed more. After about an hour of preparation, Ryan had set up his tent and built a small fire. It was around
Bro, I don't understand how people do this in the middle of the woods, bro. You got a whole 360 view, bro. Anybody can pull up on you out of nowhere.
9 p.m. when he prepped a steak and potato meal in foil and nestled it in
good.
the glowing embers.
That sounds
He
good.
smoked another joint to dull the anxiety, and for a while, everything seemed okay again.
Is this going on the Snapchat? Because I'm confused on why you recorded the whole campfire thing right now. Hold on. What?
With his meal finished and the fire crackling, Ryan settled in for the night. He turned on a pre-downloaded playlist of true crime podcasts, listening to cold case files as the forest around him darkened.
You gonna listen to that
There was
outside
no
the
signal out
woods?
there, no distractions, just firelight and static-filled voices recounting unsolved murders. At some point, he drifted off to sleep, but it didn't last. He woke up suddenly. The air inside his tent felt colder. The fire outside had dimmed. He checked his phone. 4 a.m. He didn't know what had woken him up until he heard it. Whistling.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, I can't whistle that good. So this guy low-key got some skill on him. Hold on.
A slow, eerie tune carried through the trees surrounding his camp. He froze. His body wouldn't move. It was like something inside him had shut down.
Like, what are you even supposed to do, man? Hold on, like, let me think. Hold on. Dude, I don't know, man. If it was me, I would low-key have, like, a hand grenade on me, bro. And just kind of, like, just chunk that outside. And then just start running off. I don't know.
He lay motionless, listening as the sound crept closer. Then the whistling stopped. What followed was worse.
No.
Steps. Fast, light, and quiet, circling his tent. He couldn't
Oh my god. This is where the hand grenade comes into play.
see them, but he could hear them crunching twigs and shifting leaves. His heart pounded in his throat. Then, without thinking, his body finally snapped into motion. He jumped up, threw on his boots, and burst out of the tent.
Oh, he's him. Hold on.
What made it worse, what twisted the fear into something primal, was that the footsteps had come from the direction he had entered the trail. The way back to safety was now blocked. He had no choice but to run deeper into the forest. He sprinted as fast as he could, crashing through brush and low branches. But behind him, he could hear more footsteps, multiple, and they weren't in sync.
Oh yeah. Hold on. You getting chased by a whole tribe, my boy.
The sounds overlapped, too fast and scattered to just be one person. There were two of them, maybe more. For 5 straight minutes, he ran until his lungs burned and his legs begged for rest. He found a dense cluster of trees and dove into the underbrush, burying himself in leaves and tangled roots. He didn't move. He barely breathed. The footsteps faded, distant now, but he didn't dare come out. He waited, still and silent.
It's almost like when you play hide and seek, you know what I mean? And you've been hiding for like 25 minutes and they still ain't found you, and it's like the game's over, but you just still hiding. You know what I mean?
In the dark. Eventually, he knew he had to move. He crawled through the forest with branches cutting into his arms and legs.
Was he army crawling like that? Dude, I'm laying there the whole... I'm laying there the whole night, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm laying there the whole night.
Every step was slow and careful. When the trees finally began to thin, he broke into one final sprint. He recognized the trailhead, the way out, and he ran without stopping. No one followed him after that. The forest was quiet, but the damage was done. He got back to his accommodation and immediately reported the incident to the police. They took his statement and promised to investigate, but he never heard anything back.
They ain't gonna
To this
investigate
day,
that.
Ryan believes the people who chased him were the same ones who built that bizarre shrine of cards
For
and
sure.
dolls. What they were doing out there and what they wanted, he doesn't know. But it was more than just a creepy encounter. To him, it felt ritualistic, cult-like. He finished his contract and returned home, but the memory never left him. He still remembers the sound of the footsteps, the whistling, and the feeling of helplessness. If there's anything to learn from this story, it would be to trust your instincts. If you find something that doesn't feel right, you should leave. Ryan almost didn't, and he knows he might not have lived to tell the story if he had stayed.
Now, what you learn from this story is, don't go camping alone, is what you learn, my boy. Because ain't no way. Unless they were just trying to ore farm. Because that whistling, low-key, kind of tough. But that's crazy. Hold on. That's crazy.